Well, welcome back to the Prospect Hub. We've taken quite a few days off, and we're back here talking about Mets prospects. And before we get into this video, I need to let you know that I'm on Substack, posting videos, posting little things on there, trying to grow that. Gotten quite a few people on there so far. I've been pretty lucky, I'm also on Facebook. I put the links all in the description of this video. And this video, of course, will go on to Facebook as well and on Substack. And maybe on X. But anyway, the Mets farm system has been unbelievable. So the last time we talked, the Mets AA team, I guess they had like a 12-game winning streak. It was just incredible. And that's not the most talented team. The most talented team they have is of course, the Brooklyn Cyclones. And they got a lot of prospects down there. This is from Metsmerized Online. And let's talk about the Mets pitching in their farm system. Now, we know that the Met pitching in the big league club has been excellent. No complaints from your hosts. This is the headline. The Mets have as much pitching depth as they have ever had. It's an exciting time down the farm for the Mets. The organization is loaded with pitching talent at every single level of the minor leagues. From Nolan McLean at AAA to Jose Chirinos, who recently got promoted from the Florida Complex League, and every level in between. There's pitching talent with tantalizing potential throughout the organization. And, of course, the pitching lab the Mets have certainly highlighting. And I guess really the point of the pitching lab is identifying what pitches work best for these pitchers and just doubling down on it. Basically. The headliners of McLean and Jonah Tong, prospects with big-time helium, were taken off in 2025. McLean started the year at AA Binghamton, dominated, got promoted to AAA, and hasn't missed a beat. He has an elite sweeper that has been big league ready from the moment he stepped onto a professional mound. A mid-90s heater, a sinker that has been missing bats like crazy, a cutter that has been inducing weak contact, and a changeup and curveball he mixes on occasion. Tom boasts the best fastball in the organization due to his elite induced vertical break. It was already the best fastball in the organization when he was throwing it in the low to mid 90s. Now he's routinely throwing it 95 and get it up to hit 97. He has a big looping curveball and a slider that can both be plus pitches, but his new Vulcan change has been a game changer, giving him an effective all-speed pitch that he had been searching for. He's too good for AA and should probably receive a promotion to AAA. Now, what's interesting about him is if you see his motion, it's very similar to Tim Lincecum, the former Giant. There's also Brandon Sprout, who is probably more of a household name than Tong and McLean, despite those two passing him in the prospect ranks. Sprout flew through the minors last year, making it all the way to AAA in what was his first season of professional baseball. However, he struggled mightily once he got there, and those struggles have continued in 2025. Sprout has a bunch of solid offers, but no standout pitch like Tong and McLean. He's still just 24 and is less than a year removed from dominant hitters at AA, so there's plenty of time for him to right the ship. He has a 2.25 ERA in his last 16 innings as of publishing. That's good. He remains one of the top pitching prospects in the organization. The hype has just faded a bit, and he's taken a bit of a step back in terms of the rankings with prospects, on these prospect lists. Blade Tidwell is at AAA as well, and he's been one of the most effective pitchers in the league. Don't let the 4.02 ERA fool you. That's pretty good for the National League. It's also a full run lower since he was returned to AAA after making his big league debut a little over a month ago. He got hit around a bit by the Cardinals in that debut, but he has good stuff, and it's very possible he makes another big league start at some point this season. Meanwhile, the Roma Ponies have a stacked rotation just one level below. It's headlined by Tom, but there are multiple probable future big leaguers on that staff as well. Jack Winninger has turned in the fourth highest strikeout rate among AA qualifiers, only behind Tong, top MLB pitching prospect Chase Burns, and rising Cardinals prospect Decoa Roby. Jonathan Pintaro, a former Division II pitcher who was signed out of Indy Ball last year. He's a great story, and while he's older at 27, he's turned himself into a legit prospect in the system. Then there's Zach Thornton, a southpaw who rarely walks people while still posting a high strikeout rate. High A Brooklyn has maybe even more talent. 2024 second round pick, Jonathan Santucci actually has the worst ERA of the bunch at 4.32. But after a rough start, he's thrown 20 and 2/3 innings of one-run ball over his last 4 starts. Third rounder Nate Dome has turned in 4 good starts after his promotion from St. Lucie, and Noah Hall, Brendan Gurton, and R.J. Gordon all have ERAs under 3.3 and over 40 innings. The Cyclones actually have too many pitchers for available starts. Gordon and Gurton piggybacked each other earlier this week. Wow. It continues down to single A St. Lucie in the Florida Complex League. Irvin Cota has a 1.85 ERA in 35 innings and even threw 5 scoreless innings and a spot start at Double-A before being sent back to St. Lucie. Will Watson had success earning promotion to Brooklyn in early June. Edgar Moreta and Wellington Arocena have both had strong seasons, but Jose Chirinos was great in the FCL and then threw 4 and 2/3 innings, scores with 7 strikeouts in his single-A debut. There are more. Juan Suarez had a lot of success at Double-A and is now getting his first taste of Triple-A action. Joel Diaz has had a solid season at High A. Former top prospect Matt Allen is finally back on the mound pitching for Brooklyn. These guys might be more like organizational depth pieces, but they all have flashes before. There are also, of course, relievers. Some are former starters like Douglas Orellana, Felipe De La Cruz, Saul Garcia, Cameron Foster, and Dom Hamill. There are a few fireballs like Ryan Lambert, Dylan Ross, and Ramon Gomez, who are capable of touching triple digits. Then there are other relievers like Ryan Ammons, Anthony Nunez, and TJ Shook. The farm system is deeper than it has ever been before. I mean, just incredible. I mean, what's going on here? Now, the big picture. The Arizona Diamondbacks just provided the baseball world with an unfortunate reminder this past week with the news that Corbin Burns needs to undergo Tommy John surgery becoming official. Don't sign starting pitchers to long-term contracts. Develop pitchers. That way you're not forced to sign free agent starting pitchers to big money, multi-year contracts. The Mets have leaned heavily into that philosophy in the first 2 years under David Stearns. They did pursue Yoshinobu Yamamoto, a unicorn in the free agent market at 25 years old. But other than that, they stayed away from the big-name, high-priced free agent pitchers. Now, I would mention about Yamamoto. He's been hurt. He's missed time. No Burns, no Max Fried, no Blake Snell. Fried has been great, but it's an 8-year deal. That's a long time to count on a pitcher to be healthy. Burns and Snell are already on the shelf. Instead, the Mets opted for shorter deals in 2024. It was Sean Manaea and Luis Severino. In 2025, it was Clay Holmes, Griffin Canning, Frankie Montas, and re-up in Manaea. Manaea obviously got a 3-year deal. Frankie Montas got a 2-year deal. He hasn't pitched yet. Of course, he's been hurt. And so does Manaea, by the way. Pitchers are inherently a high-risk free agent buy. Burns signed a 6-year deal. So the Mets are fine. I mean, if they need to get somebody that they need, they sign a guy to a 2-3-year deal. And the way the pitching lab is performing behind the scenes, you don't really need to sign anybody big. Very few of these deals ever pan out, and you're better off just developing your own pitching at this point. And then you can sort of figure out who you want to bring in. You're better off that way, to be honest with you. But thank you for watching this video. Of course, please follow me on all the different platforms and subscribe to me on YouTube and, of course, on Substack. I'll see you later. Now, welcome back to the Prospect Hub. We're talking about Mets prospects, and we're going to get into something that happened the other day with the Mets minor league system. We try to do daily videos, and we're kind of lagging behind a little bit, but here we go. This from Mets Rise do a great job. Ryan Clifford homers again for Binghamton. Now, we're also on Substack. This video will go on Substack, too. Need to follow me on there. The Jet Williams show carried the Double-A Binghamton Rowan Ponies while Ryan Clifford homered yet again in an 11-0 win against the Richmond Flying Squirrels. Brandon Scrooge struggling in a Syracuse loss, and every other Mets full-season affiliate fell in a rough Thursday slate of games. Oh, boy. Syracuse Mets lost to the Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders 6-1. Luke Ritter went 0 for 3. Drew Gilbert went 0 for 3. His OPS is at 668. He's taken a major step back as a prospect. Major step. That injury last year killed him. Jackson Reach, a catcher, went 1 for 3. with a home run. With only 4 players getting hits Thursday, Syracuse was in for a rough day facing one of the Yankees' top prospects, and Cam Shitler. I kid, Shitler. That's his name, Shitler. Donovan Walton has been pretty dominant, pretty consistent every month, but has yet to hit for any average, primarily being helped out by a solid batting eye to keep his OPS at or near 700 the entire season to date. Brandon Sprout, who has taken a step back as a prospect, pitched 5 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Left-handed pitcher Brandon Walton pitched 1 2/3 innings, gave 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Daniel Nunez pitched an inning and had a strikeout. After coming off his best outing of the season, Sprout struggled in the 5th inning, allowing 2 runs on 3 hits while throwing a wild pitch as well. After walking a batter in the 6th, he was pulled. Sprout is throwing strikes, but the quality of those strikes is not good. When he seems to run into a bad inning, it almost always comes back to haunt him. Waddell did not do much better, allowing 3 runs himself. News pitched a scoreless inning, and he was only been scored upon in 1 of his 4 June appearances. At Double-A, the Road Ponies killed the Richmond Flying Squirrels 11-0. Jet Williams went 3 for 4 for a double, 2 triples, 3 runs scored, 2 RBIs, a stolen base, a walk, and a strikeout. His OPS 937. He'll be going to AAA soon. In center field, Nick Morabito went 2 for 5 with a double, 2 runs, 3 RBIs. He's got 28 for the season. He's got stolen base, strikeout. Ryan Clifford went 2 for 5 with a home run, runs scored, an RBI. His OPS 834. Don't have his batting average here. Nick LaRusso went 2 for 4 with 2 doubles, a run scored, an RBI, a walk, a strikeout. Catcher Kevin Parada, who's come out of nowhere and has really been hitting the ball pretty well, went 2 for 4 with a double, a home run, 2 RBIs, 2 strikeouts. His OPS is 657, and that might not seem like a lot, but his OPS was under 500 at one point. Binghamton started slow, but put across 8 of their 11 runs from the 5th inning on. Williams is playing out of his mind right now, slashing 387, 525 on base, 839 OPS. In June, with 8 of his 12 hits, going for extra bases. The other day, he had 2 home runs. Clifford has homered in 4 of his last 6 games. Parada is having a solid June, slashing 308 with 4 walks to 5 strikeouts. He only walked 3 times in all of April. So seeing him be more disciplined at the plate is a good sign. Right-handed pitcher Jack Wenger pitched 4 innings, gave 4 hits and a walk, and struck out 5. Cameron forced to pitch an inning and struck out 1. Wenger had another good, if not brief, outing, on 4 hits over 4 innings with 1 walk. At his last outing on June 6th, where he struggled, he regrouped and got back to what he's been working for him all season. Wenger has shown the ability to recollect himself after bad outs, which is a great trait to see from a young pitcher. Force has been good out of the bullpen, not having been scored on since May 3rd, and having allowed 4 runs the entire season. Well, he's had a good year. The Brooklyn Cyclones, which they were on TV Thursday night, but they lost to the Asheville Taurus 7-2. A.J. Ewing went 0 for 4. Boston Barrel went 1 for 4. Marco Vargas went 1 for 3. Jacob Brema 0 for 4. Carson Bench went 1 for 3. Eli Serrano III went 2 for 4. He hit a home run. Jesus Baez went 1 for 4. He hit a home run as well. They hit back-to-back home runs on SNY. On the pitching side, Nate Dome, who did not pitch particularly well, his command was all over the place. First time I've ever seen him. Pitched 3 2/3 innings, gave up a hit, 4 runs, none earned, 3 walks, 1 strikeout, and a home run. 43 of his 68 pitches were for strikes. That's not good. Right-handed pitcher Dakota Hawkins pitched 2 1/3 innings, gave 3 hits and 2 strikeouts. Dome was victimized by some wildness in his defense today, letting 4 unearned runs across the plate. He's been quite good all season, though, having only allowed 3 runs or more twice. Hawkins keeps humming along as a useful bullpen piece for Brooklyn. The Brooklyn team is the Mets' best minor league team, by the way, and they might be the best minor league team in baseball. The St. Lucie Mets lost to the Daytona Tortugas 6-4. Trey Schneider went 1-for-4 of a double. Jeremy Rodriguez went 0-for-5. His OPS is 597. Colin Houck went 1-for-4 of an RBI. His OPS is 739. DH Trace Wilhoit went 1-for-4 of a home run. His OPS 866. Schneider pushed his OPS over 700 after 1-for-4 day, proving to be a solid spark plug at the top of the lineup with a good gap power swing. On the mound, Frank Elsalt pitched 4 innings, gave 4 hits, 4 runs earned, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. Ernesto Mercedes pitched 4 innings, gave a hit, 2 runs, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. The Florida Complex League Mets lost to the Marlins 5-0. Bohan Adelaide went 0-for-3. Edward Montigua went 0-for-2. In the Dominican Summer League, the Mets Blue lost to the Yankees Club 4-2. Really nothing to say here. And the DSL Mets Orange defeated the DSL Orange 5-3. Elian Pena played second and went 0-for-3 with an RBI and a strikeout, struggling his first few games in the Mets organization. He's gone hitless in his first 24 games, though he has 3 steals. And that's interesting because you'll get to see him, how he responds to this adversity. Because obviously, if he, his country of origin, I guess, Venezuela, he's probably the king there. So him being able to sort of, have to deal with adversity from the very beginning will say a lot about him as a young player. So we'll keep our eye on that when he gets his first set. So thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to Prospect Hut, and I'll see you later. Well, welcome back to Prospect Hut. We talk about Mets prospects here. We got a whole bunch of stuff for you over the next day or so to run down. A lot of stuff happened this past weekend. Let me start up with the sum up from Sunday, so Saturday's games. Of course, we're on Substack at the Baseball Hut on there. Please follow me on there. Headline for Mets Minors: Gerton Forrest 5 perfect innings. Another guy pitching perfect. 15 up, 15 down. Brendan Gerton was a 10th round selection in last year's draft out of the University of Oklahoma, where he struck out 47 and 35 2/3 innings, but gave up 29 earned runs for a 7.32 ERA. A dozen appearances with High 8 Brooklyn this season, 9 starts. He's given up 2 earned runs over or fewer 11 times, including Saturday night when he threw 5 perfect innings and struck out 6 in the Cyclones' 1-0 victory over Asheville. Raymond Gomez finished off the shutout with a strikeout clocked at 103 miles per hour. To start off, the Syracuse Mets lost to the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders 5-1. Drew Gilbert went 1-for-3 with a walk. Travis Jankowski, who has returned to the Mets organization, went 1-for-4, runs scored and a strikeout. David Villar went 1-for-3 with an RBI. Villar, who the Mets signed to a minor league deal last month after he was released by the Giants, was hitting 176 in June with a 364 on-base percentage entering Saturday. Nolan McLean pitched 6 innings, gave up 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts for the loss. McLean, a 3rd-round pick in 2023 out of Oklahoma State, has given up 2 earned runs or fewer in 6 of his 7 outings since being promoted to Syracuse. He has struck out 35 and 38 2/3 innings at AAA. The Roma Ponies defeated the Richmond Flying Squirrels 8-2. The red-hot, sizzling hot Jet Williams went 3-for-5, a double, an RBI, 2 runs scored, and 2 strikeouts. His OPS is at 928. He's going to be called up to AAA at some point. He's getting promoted. So the outside possibility he could be with the Mets by the end of the year. First baseman Ryan Clifford also is doing really well. He's hitting in the 240s. I checked this out before. Went 2-for-4 in the game, a double, 2 RBIs, a strikeout. His OPS is at 843. Another red-hot player, former prospect, and maybe prospect again, Kevin Parada, catching, went 2-for-4 with 2 doubles, an RBI, a run scored, a strikeout. His OPS is now 713. This is a guy whose OPS was in the 400s about a month ago. Was not doing a damn thing. He has to turn his career around now. No fooling around. He's got to turn it around if he's going to make it to the majors. Designated hitter J.T. Schwartz went 3 for 4 with a home run, an RBI, and a walk. Nick Morabito went 2 for 5 with a double, a stolen base, a run scored. His OPS is 770. Parada has hit 7 home runs and 5 doubles in his last 22 games. Clifford drove in Williams with a double, and Williams had an RBI double of his own. The Ponies had 17 hits. On the mound, Joander Suarez pitched 4 1/3 innings. He gave 4 hits, 2 runs that weren't 2 earned, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Suarez has done well in his 9 appearances for Binghamton. He also made 2 starts at Syracuse last month. One was a disaster, but the other was better. And High A, the Brooklyn Cyclones again won 1-0 against the Asheville Tourists. Carson Bench went 1 for 4 with an RBI, 2 strikeouts. Jacob Bremer went 0 for 4. AJ Yoon went 0 for 2 with a run scored and a stolen base. He now has 46 stolen bases on the year between that and St. Lucie, and he's got 30, I guess, in Brooklyn. He's just had an incredible season. Jesus Baez, sizzling hot as well, went 1 for 4 with a double, 2 strikeouts. Benj's RBI single broke the scoreless tie in the 6th. The teams combined for 7 hits, and Baez's double was the only extra base hit of the game. Yoon's 30 stolen bases are second in the South Atlantic League. Brendan Gurton pitched 5 innings, struck out 6. That's it. He threw 44 strikes to 21 balls. Joel Diaz pitched 3 innings, gave up 3 hits, 3 strikeouts for the win. Ramon Gomez pitched an inning for the save with a strikeout. In St. Lucie, they lost 10-0 to Daytona Tortugas. Colin Houck went 2 for 4. He was actually done a really good job. Trace Wilhoit went 2 for 3. Yahiro Savas went 2 for 4. Hoyk is now 12 for 39 this month with 4 extra base hits. The 2023 first round picks OPS is up dramatically from last year's. It's now 783. Last year's was 610 over 471 plate appearances. Edgar Moreta went 4 1/3 innings, gave up 7 hits, 7 runs, 6 earned, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, and 2 home runs for the loss. The Florida Complex League. The Mets were defeated by the Astros 4-3. Daniel Silva went 1 for 3. Hanio Herman went 1 for 3. Silva's 20 is 2 for 29 with both his hits being home runs. Herman 19 hit 4 homers, stole 5 bases in 40 games in the Dominican Summer League last year. Edward Mantigua stole his 6th base. Jonathan Jimenez pitched 3 innings, gave up 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. In the Dominican Summer League, the DSL Mets Orange defeated the DSL Red Blue Jays. Elian Pena singled up the middle for his first hit with the Mets organization, breaking an 0 for 26 start. He went 1 for 3. Second baseman Diover De Aza went 2 for 2. Left fielder Adolfo Miranda went 1 for 3. Right-handed pitcher Julio Gonzalez pitched 2 2/3 innings, a 1-hit ball. Jamtrick Camellia struck out 4 in 1 1/3 innings, so he struck out everybody he faced. The DSL Marlins defeated the DSL Mets Blue 10-5. Marcos Terrera, a 19-year-old who posted a 777 OPS in 30 DSL games last year, went 3 for 4 for a triple. Shortstop, he might go up to the triple, up to FCL. Shortstop Yorber Semperin was 2 for 2 of a double, 2 runs scored and a walk. Giovanni Rodriguez, he's a prospect, an 18-year-old catcher, hit a solo home run. Gene Brito, 19-year-old, 2 2/3 innings, to drop his ERA to 4.32 over 8 1/3 innings. He gave 2 hits, walked 2, and struck out 2. So that's what happened on Saturday in the Mets minor leagues. It's interesting to see Giovanni Rodriguez at the end of this because he is a prospect. When the Mets signed him, I guess last year, he was the top catching prospect in the amateur signing period. So thank you for watching this video. Of course, please follow me on Substack, Facebook, and everywhere else. And, of course, subscribe to the Prospect Hut, and I'll see you later. Well, welcome back to the Prospect Hut. We're going to talk about Mets prospects here. And, of course, you need to subscribe to this channel. Watch the whole length of this video and get as much time on here as possible. And, of course, on On this channel, we talk about Mets prospects primarily, and not too much about the Major League Club, because the fact is, like, I got to do something separate here on the side here. But of course, I'm on Substack, I'm on Facebook. These videos will go on those different platforms, and of course, we're on X. This is from Mets Minors. They do a wonderful job. Manaea struggles, Tong dominates, and the St. Lucie Mets clinch. Sean Manaea endured another tough outing in the second start for AAA Syracuse. I'm going to skip this part because it's all about getting these guys ready to pitch with the Mets. I'm not too concerned about the result. It's all about whether they're healthy, and Manaea will pitch really well once the bell rings. Let's start off with the AAA team, and the Syracuse Mets again lost at 29-40, by the way. They're the worst Mets team that they have in the minors. They're 29-40. They lost 8-6 to the Scranton Railriders. Joey Meneses went 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs. Yanni Hernandez went 2 for 3 with an RBI. Meneses and Hernandez helped Syracuse rally for 4 runs in the 9th inning with runs scoring singles, but it wasn't quite enough as the Railriders swept them. Meneses is currently riding a 6-game hit streak heading into Monday. It'll be interesting to see what players are going to be here later on in the season if they have to, or they'll get moved. Joey Meneses should not be in the minor leagues. Blade Tidwell pitched 3 to Darzanes, gave up 6 earned runs, 7 hits. He is a prospect, a walk, 4 strikeouts, and 1 home run. The Daniel Nunez pitched an inning, walked 1 batter. Blade Tidwell struggled mildly versus Scranton today, allowed 6 earned runs, including a home run from Brennan Davis. Tidwell has allowed 12 earned runs in his last 3 starts. That's not good. Nunez, on the other hand, is starting to round into form with 3 consecutive scoreless appearances, so he'll be back with the Mets before you know it. Double-A, the Richmond Flying Squirrels defeated the Binghamton Rumble Ponies. Excuse me, this is a tie. What am I talking about? A tie? How can it be a tie? And, oh, that sucks. This is a tie. Must have been rained out. Oh, they must have screwed something up here. Well, it doesn't matter. Matt O'Neill, the catcher, went 1 for 5. William Lugo went 1 for 5 with a home run. Nick LaRusso went 2 for 5 with a double and 2 RBIs. William Lugo smacked his 6th homer of the season Sunday, extending his hit streak to 3 games. LaRusso's 2 for 5, including a double, was nice to see for someone who hits .239 in June so far. Jonah Tong, who will probably be going to AAA very soon, maybe after the All-Star break, pitched 5 innings. He had an earned run, 2 hits, and 5 strikeouts. Right-handed pitcher Alex Carrillo pitched an inning, gave an earned run, got a hit, gave up a hit, 3 strikeouts. Ryan Lambert pitched 1 1/3 innings, gave up a hit and 3 strikeouts. Jonathan continues to excel in Double-A as the 21-year-old struck out 5 in 5 innings of work. Tong has allowed only 2 earned runs in 15 1/3 innings of work and could be on the verge of promotion to Syracuse in the coming weeks. Yep. He's a very talented young guy, and we'll see. He's very reminiscent. He reminds me sort of a hybrid of Tim Lincecum and Hideo Nomo, the way he approaches his ability to throw to the plate. The Brooklyn Cyclones defeat the Asheville Tourists. Center fielder Carson Bench went 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs. He's hitting .906. I expect him to get called up to Double-A very soon. He's done so well. Jesus Baez went 1 for 5 with an RBI. His OPS is .755. Boston Barrow went 1 for 4 with an RBI. Carson Bench continues to rake as he hit his 18th double of the season on Sunday. The 22-year-old outfielder is now slashing a fantastic .304, .417 on base, .487 slugging percentage on the year, and is emerging as one of the Mets' best hitting prospects after being ranked 85th on MLB's top 100 prospect rankings. Barrow helped cap a comeback win with a single in the 10th inning. Now, I would mention about Bench. He, in a lot of the list, he's really 3rd or 4th. I expect him to get to number 2 behind Jeb Williams very soon. Maybe by the time we get to the middle of the season. Of course, we have the draft in a few weeks, and I will cover the draft on the Baseball Hut when the Met game is over that Sunday, right before the All-Star break. We'll cover it. I think it's July 13th, and I'll cover it. And the Mets pick 38th and on the round. So we'll be online and on live stream for quite a while. Sean Manaea pitched 2 1/3 innings. He had 5 runs, 4 earned, 5 hits, 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. Brian Metalor pitched 2/3 of an inning, gave up a walk, struck out 2. R.J. Gordon pitched 4 2/3 innings, gave 2 hits, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts, and a home run. R.J. Gordon picked up the slack from the night on Sunday, tossing 4 2/3 innings while striking out 2. Gordon has posted an impressive 16 strikeouts over 3 appearances in June. This guy had Mets drafted last year. The St. Lucie defeated the Daytona Tortugas 7-5. Colin Houck went 2 for 4 with a home run on RBI. Trey Schneider went 2 for 5 with 3 RBIs. I've mentioned about Colin Houck. He might be reclaiming his prospect status as well. He's only 20 years old. Jeremy Rodriguez went 1 for 5. Trey Schneider had a big day at the plate, going 2 for 5 with 3 RBIs. Schneider has been hot for the past week, recording hits in 7 of his past 8 games, and he has hit a steady .250 average for the last 2 months. St. Lucie with the win, cashed their ticket for the Florida State League playoffs. I'll have a separate video on that. Franklin Gomez pitched 2 1/3 innings, gave 3 runs, 2 earned, 5 hits, and 1 strikeout. Christopher Gomez pitched 1 1/3 innings with a 1 earned run, 2 hits, 1 strikeout. Gomez saw his 3-inning scoreless streak come to an end on Sunday, turning 2 earned runs and 5 hits over 2 1/3 innings. Despite the bump in the road, Gomez has been a reliable presence for St. Lucie in the month of June. Over his last 3 innings, he has posted a whip of 0.86. So this is what happened on Sunday, and obviously I'll have a separate video on the St. Lucie club clinching their division and clinching a playoff spot for the first half. So thank you for watching this video. Follow me on Facebook, Substack, X. Of course, follow me on YouTube, Peter, and I'll see you later. Well, welcome back to the Prospect Hut. Hopefully you like this video. And of course, we talk about Mets prospects here and what's going on with the Mets minor league system. And of course, I'm on Substack at the Baseball Hut on there. And I'm on Facebook at the Baseball Hut on there. And of course, we're on X. This again is from Mets Minors. The St. Lucie Mets are the Florida State League East first half champions. The St. Lucie Mets on Sunday clinched their title of the FCL East first half champions on Sunday after defeating the Daytona Tortugas at Jackie Robinson Ballpark in Daytona. The Mets were 34-28 in the first half of the 2025 FCL season. They won the FCL East by 5 games over the Palm Beach Cardinals, 5.5 games above the Jupiter Hammerheads, and were 7.5 games up on the Tortugas. The Mets ended the first half winning 4 of 6 matchups against the Tortugas after a rough week against the Dunedin Blue Jays. St. Lucie has looked strong so far this half and are top 5 in the league in many offensive stat categories. They sit 3rd in the Florida State League for batting average, tied for 1st with the Dunedin Blue Jays, and on base, 4th in slugging, and 3rd in OPS with 720. Mets prospect Trace Wilhoit, who is an undrafted free agent, currently ranks tied for 2nd in slugging percentage among all FCL East players with 500. He also sits 5th in OPS with 863. He is tied for 7th in home runs in the FCL East with 8, along with his teammate Colin Houck. Wilhoit also has the 4th most runs batted in the FCL East with 37. I would think that he'll get a call up to Double-A. St. Lucie center fielder A.J. Yoon is tied for 3rd in triples with 5. He also has the 5th most runs scored in the league with 37. He's also 4th in the league in stolen bases with 30, and he has 46 total for the season. Had a big year, and he's come up out of nowhere. On the defensive side of the field, St. Lucie relief pitcher Haas Brewer is tied for the league lead with 6 strikeouts, with 6 saves, and he has been promoted to Brooklyn. That happened today. Josh Bloom has 3. Wellington Aracena has the 5th most strikeouts in the FCL, tied with Edgar Moretta at 52. Aracena has thrown 42 innings. Moretta has pitched 48 and 2/3 innings, or 1/3 innings. The Mets clinched the first half title early and gave themselves a buffer. However, I would not expect them to let off the gas as the first half continues and they head into the All-Star break at mid-July. St. Lucie will return home to Clover Park on Tuesday June 17th to open a series against the Palm Beach Cardinals. So, a couple updates. First pitch is set for Tuesday at 4 p.m. and will be a doubleheader. Game 2 is a makeup game for the June 1st game that was postponed in Palm Beach. Okay. But most importantly, this is actually the Mets' second best farm team. The best team is the Brooklyn team, and I don't think they've clinched yet. But the Florida State League team, the St. Lucie Mets are a very strong team. You hear the traffic, some traffic in the background. But I want to thank you for coming by. Please, of course, subscribe to the Prospect Hut. I'll give you all the updates you can possibly get on the Mets farm system. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.